Welcome back to DETV.
Okay, class, we are starting the first drawing out of Chapter 2 after you went through the tutorial, which is the adjustable support. It may look daunting at first, but it's really easy. If you see in the book, it says all drawings are in inches unless otherwise stated, and of course this one isn't otherwise stated, and also you can just tell by the 5.00, the 0.5, all the decimals here that you see. Alright, so we are going to open AutoCAD in imperial inches and feet, and that will come up because we've done the setup. If by chance you see this, then go to the second tab, which says start from scratch. Click there, make sure it says imperial feet and inches, push OK. AutoCAD will load to about the right size, perfect for, and I like my grid on, and the first thing I'm going to set is my units. I type in units, I see it says inches, perfect, and then I'm going to do 2 decimal points because I don't see anything, in fact I don't see anything over 1 decimal point, so I'm going to do 1 decimal point, inches, push OK. Now the limits, I'm going to make this the origin right at the center of this circle, so looking at the diameter here is 2 inches, which would be an inch radius, and then just going to give a little more, so I'm going to type in limits, and the lower limits I'm going to say -5, -5, so 5 this way, 5 down. I hit enter. The upper limits, I see that this is 3 inches, 4 inches, so probably could do 10, 5. Let's see, 3, yeah, can do that. When I do zoom, extents, my cursor falls right, or my origin falls right there, and we're ready to go. So the first thing is I'm going to draw a couple circles around the origin. They're both diameter because they're full circles and not arcs. And I've seen a lot of students try to get it right on that origin, where the best way is just to type in 0, 0 to start, and then enter the diameter 2. I can hit spacebar to repeat the last command. I can snap to the middle, but realize it defaults back to radius, so you need to right button click, go to diameter, and type in 1. So I have my first 2 circles there. Now these are all made with circles, this channel here and this big part right here, so we need to find out where the center of these circles are, and the way we're going to do that is we see this arc here, arc center line is 3 inches from this center of the circle, or from the origin. So all I'm going to do is create a line, snap it to the middle. If this doesn't snap to the quadrants, then you need to make sure this is on, polar tracking, F10. So I'm going to just come out this way, type in 3, and that is my where the 1 circle is going to be. Now I want to draw one more line out for the center of this circle, 40 degrees up. Now if you remember, when you start off at a place, if you do at, meaning from the point you've just clicked, and you do 3 for the length, and instead of comma, because comma would be an XY value, instead of comma you want to do shift comma or less than symbol, which means please put an angle in it. Now remember, all angles go counterclockwise starting at the 3 o'clock position. So this one would be just a straight 40. If this line came down this way and showed 40 degrees, you would have to do a negative 40. So all we're going to do is type in 40 and we have our line. So we have this point and this point now. Now it's just time to draw some circles here. So at this top line here, the outer circle is going to be a radius of 1, the inner circle a radius of 0.5. So I need to choose center radius. I'm going to click on the end of that line. I'm going to type in 0.5. I'm going to space bar to repeat last command. Do 1. It defaults to radius, so that's good. Space bar, 0.5, space bar, 1. So I have these 2 circles, 4 circles actually, created. Now is to create this arc, and the way we're going to create this arc is to create a big circle around it. And you remember in chapter 2 they focused in on not only the circles of center radius but center diameter, but also tan radius. So that's the one we're going to choose, tan radius. And you really want to look at where this arc connects to this top circle, and I would say it's right almost at the top. So as you get near your circle, you'll see it snap and turn into the tangent symbol. We did not have to go over to the toolbar. Did not. I'm repeating, did not have to go over the toolbar. It just selects it because you've selected it. Then you look at where it crosses the circle on this one, and it's about where this arrow is pointing in. Click there. Then you specify the radius, and if you look, it says radius of 5. You hit enter, and it creates a big circle around the object. Now, the way trim works is you select what you want to trim. You select what you want to trim it between. So I want to trim it from where it meets this point all the way around to where it meets this point. I select trim, and then I get rid of that piece. You can kind of see it come together now. So same thing down here on this arc. We're going to select tan radius. It looks like it connects right there and right there. So I'm going to connect it right there and right there. And then it says there's a radius of 3. I do that. And if you remember how to trim, what you want to trim, what you want to trim it between, select trim, and you have that. You notice I have not gotten rid of this line yet. I can get rid of either one of these lines, but you should leave one. And the reason is if you look down at your object snap, I've got selected intersection and extension. That will become handy. So the reason is now to create these arcs going between these circles, I am going to select a circle radius, start at the origin, and move up to each place that the line intersects. Now these two don't intersect with a line, but I've also got extension. So I'm going to go to center radius circle. I'm going to select in the middle of the 2 circles, come up here until it snaps to the intersection. I'm going to hit space bar to repeat the last command. Click in the middle, go to the next intersection. Space bar, connect in the middle. This time I'm going to go here, and then I'm just going to go past until the extension shows just like the line had been there. And I select, and then one last one, and I select. All right. This is going to be easy now. We just trim this up. So I'm going to pick the outer one and the inner one. Those are the ones I want to trim, and I want to trim them between these two things. We're going to trim up 4 different things here. And so I'm going to select trim. I'm going to get rid of this part and this part. But then also I'm going to get rid of this part and this part. Hit escape to deselect. Now the next 2 circles and the inside circles, I'm going to select trim, get rid of, get rid of, get rid of this, and get rid of this. Hit escape. Now I'm just going to delete these 2 lines, which you just select them. A lot of people come up and do erase or right button click erase. All you have to do is hit delete on your keyboard and it deletes. Okay, we have our adjustable support. Next thing we need to do is save as, and we always call it adjustable support, and then first and last name.